Absolutely. It's a key component. I mean, no one person is an island. And as I said, we all trying to solve the same problem. But when you're faced with real world problems, this gives you the opportunity to take little snippets from everywhere and solve your own problem, because every one of us may have a very unique problem, but we can apply a range of standardized solutions to that, or standard well-researched solutions. So getting out and about has definitely raised my personal profile. It's allowed me to meet people, create networks, and all of that is information and content that I can feed back into my day job. Firstly, not all abstracts have to be accompanied by an academic paper. What I've done over the years, I've just done a presentation. But the very act of submitting an abstract then creates the impetus for me to do the work. And so because there's such a long lead time, and you want your work to be sort of fairly recent and fresh, if I had to put in an abstract for 2023 in March 22, I'd think long and hard about the problem I'm trying to solve, be very simple and succinct about it, which means it doesn't constrain my work, but it definitely creates the impetus to get it done. So my encouragement to interested parties would be, put the idea down, get it in on the agenda, and then you're going to have to go and do the work. You don't have to complete your work before you submit your abstract. I think we need to be respectful that there's horses for courses, right? And public speaking is not for everyone, and not everyone has to follow that route in order to get ahead or progress in a career. I think there are definitely areas where sort of formal report writing carries much more weight than public speaking. However, I would say two things. One is, as you progress in your career, you will naturally be more and more of a manager and a leader. And there will be more people looking up to you, and you would be addressing more people, literally, in various forums, be that a team meeting or a town hall. So the natural sort of progression of literally getting older and getting more senior in your company means there are going to be times when you have to get up and speak. Personally, I was probably scared of two things a long time ago, and one was heights and one was public speaking. I mean, we get extremely nervous, but just challenging yourself personally, if nothing else, just the personal challenge of getting up and just standing in front of people, knowing you're just a normal person, just like every one of them, has been a little bit of a personal challenge, and something that I've got more used to now. But that doesn't mean I'm not nervous. Every time I get on stage, you got to blow out all the air that got stuck in your lungs. So I still get nervous, but I do challenge myself. The vertigo hasn't gone away though. I'm still stuck with that one. Just be clear about the problem you're trying to solve. There's no point just writing an abstract about a huge amount of activity you're undertaking. So in writing an abstract, perhaps I wouldn't call it my advice, but a suggestion to consider. The first component is that there's got to be a call to authority. And I'll explain that by example. So take the superannuation industry at the moment. There's draft legislation around a retirement income covenant. There's recently released Your Future, Your Super performance tests. There's legislation, there's a call to authority to do stuff. There's a call to authority to analyze things, to research things. So that immediately gets people's attention, that call to authority. The second one is probably the easy one, and that's what I would call impenetrable logic. And I think that's where most actuaries are are very good at, right? Really making sure the numbers add up, the logic is correct, the hypothesis is appropriately defined, all those kind of things. But I mean, it might sound simple, but that is key, right? I mean, there's no point presenting anything that's flimsy or heuristic or something. There's got to be proper rigor and logic to it. And then the final one, which we often miss, is what he called external validation. And that is, if you want to get anything done at work, at home, often the question from decision makers are, the question is often, well, what are other people doing? Did you test this? Did you get assurance? Did you get it audited? There's always this need for this sort of external validation. It would be sad if people were scared to present or submit abstracts because they're scared of public speaking. It is a personal challenge to get up, but therein lies the challenge, right? To grow as individuals and as people, we need to challenge ourselves, and this is one way to do that.